at the 2008 National Mountain Bike Championships is all about body armour and big air. In the women's, Tracy Hanna from Queensland normally has it all her own way, but this year from the UK we've got 2006 World Cup champion Tracy Mosley. It should be a battle in two.
And how are you finding the racing at this time of year, at this type of temperature?
Pretty hard. I think yesterday I was pretty tired and I haven't been on my bike since October was our last national, so I'm definitely a bit rusty, but just good to get back out there. And again, me riding on this dust is something I'm not used to. So. And
you're looking forward to getting this course dialed for the World Cup and the World Championships?
Yeah, definitely. It's short, a lot of pedalling, so at least these things I can take home and work on over the next few months before August. And I think it'll be different in August because it's going to be winter over here. So hopefully I won't be sweltering quite such heat, but the track's going to be the same. So been good practice.
If Australia's not the top nation in downhill mountain biking in the world, it's a very close fought thing. Competition at the national championships is always hot. These guys are the best in the world.
If I had to pick the elite men now, I'd probably pick Rennie. You know, he's a big, strong lad. He's keen, he's hungry, he's cleanly shaven, he wants to get on TV. Behind him, I don't know, there's Bryn, Emil, Rando. There's a bunch of guys, it'd be tough to pick the next couple.
What's your position as the Australian coach on this hill and where it fits into the world scene?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but so it's shorter. It still means it'll be tighter. You've got to try harder on the bit of the track that's there. I'm not a fan at all of the bottom pedalling bit. I think we should have the finish back up there. That's my point. But it's still you guarantee it'll be the same top 10 guys.
The Mount Stromlo downhill has been artfully crafted by trail guru Glenn Jacobs. Canberra local and 2007 USA National Series champion Jared Rando gives us his perspective of the course.
So come down here, around the log, little jump over the rocks, gap that, out wide here, slope down the rock, put a gap, down through the rock garden, try and hold the exit. Nice big pedal down here, have a bit of a rest. Get a gap there, try and stay left. Coming into triple treat now, it's good fun, as long as the wind's not too bad. At the low line, got like 3 feet of air right there, over the rock. Road gap. The bottom section's pretty fun. It's a matter of staying low and keep the power down. And going into the finish, it's just a matter of pedaling for about 4 years. It'll be a big sprint to the finish, and that's the Stromlo downhill track.
Caroline Buchanan again found herself the only contender in the women's under-19 downhill, but that didn't deter the four-cross specialist from laying down a time that would have put her on the elite podium. Matthew Vincent lopped a massive 9 seconds from his first run to stop the clock in 2:49 and take the hot seat. At the sharp end of the field, Dylan Prom was a master of consistency. His race run was within 0.2 of a second of his seeding run. That left only the fastest seeded rider left to come. But Sean O'Connor's start was disastrous as he caught his handlebars on the start house and went from bad to worse. So Dylan Prom claims the stripes of a national champion.
I've been trying for 2 years now. I missed out last year when I cut my hand open on the Friday of practice, so it's really, really good.
The women's downhill time trial with a lot of danger, and we're looking at Julia Bohr from Hungary. She is an Australian resident now, not a citizen. She wants to represent Australia in a pretty technical event as well. She was first over the line last year, 3 years straight on the podium, so she's been a form rider here at Mount Stromlo.
Yeah, very consistent rider. She'll be looking to get that citizenship, and then she can look to heading over to or competing at the August World Cup in Canberra and wearing the Australian green and gold colours. It's very smooth over the rock there, and she's coming through the course very nicely. She's Canberra local, so she's obviously got a lot of local knowledge up her sleeve, but riding very, very nicely.
Keen to put the green and gold on for the World Cup in August. Julia Bohr
Not sure if they make the jeans in green and gold. She, one of her customary pieces of riding apparel, but she'll come through for a good time here. It's a 3:21.83, a very competitive time on this track.
She was 3:21.23 in qualifying. Here's Tracy Mosley of Great Britain, the World Cup champion of 2006. Second at the World Championships in Fort William, Scotland last year, so she really is in the top echelon of riders.
Absolutely, yeah. Silver medal at Worlds behind the ever-dominant Sabrina Journier from France. And looking very fast there, pedaling all the way, looking good. This is a triple treat section. Big favourite with the fans. Gets the big line off there. She's going to take the rock jump. There's no B-line here. Nice work, Tracy Mosley. Looking very comfortable.
She said before the race she wasn't in the sharpest of form, so she'd be pretty happy with that section of the course.
Yeah, she's looking super smooth all through here, so I don't think, maybe she feels that she's down on power, but the clock doesn't really seem to be saying that story.
So will she get under that 3:21 time? Yes, she will easily, 3:01.12. The current leader, Tracy Mosley of Great Britain.
And the other Tracy's coming up next. Tracy Hannah is waiting at the top of the hill, and she'll be looking to better that time. And she's going to have to work really hard. That was a very good time.
2006 junior downhill world champion.
Yep, and she competed on the World Cup and World Championships circuit last year. Took out a World Cup earlier in the year, so she's definitely got the form on the board.
Actually, a bronze medalist at the Worlds last year. She's won Norba races in 2007, so certainly right up there.
Yeah, Hannah will be looking to reverse that. Hopefully it'll be a Hannah for Australia first and a Mosley second for England. But looking super smooth here. She's got tons of power. She's a very small girl, but she can absolutely crank out the watts.
Tracy Mosley looking on that time. She's protecting 3:01.12. Will Tracy Hannah beat it? It's going to be very, very close. And, well, 6/100ths of a second behind Tracy Mosley. But Tracy Hannah will be the Australian champion by virtue of the fact that Tracy Mosley is a Brit. Very, very tight going in the women's downhill. So in the class of their own, Tracy Mosley and Tracy Hannah, with Julia Bohr in third place.
Tracy Mosley, that was a tough day at the office, but the same result as in Fort William. You're just ahead of Tracy Hannah.
Yeah, it was going to be tough today. I knew that, obviously I haven't been riding for a few months. I know Tracy's, it's their summer, so she's certainly in form. So I felt it today, I had to push hard.
Was it good to have Tracy Mosley here to race against as a bit of a yardstick?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's always great when international riders come over and ride, and she's real good competition, as you've seen, so it's always good to have someone pushing you.
In the men's elite downhill, we're looking at Ben Corey, who qualified in a slow 4:12.41, but that was after suffering a flat in the seeding run, so a bit of bad luck for him.
Yeah, this Rock Garden, no doubt the culprit. It's taken out many tubes all weekend. But Corey looking super smooth here. He's not doing anything flashy. He's just keeping it low and doing the racer lines. Keeps it low over the rock, but looking super smooth. He's a former junior world champion, one of a long list of Australian junior world champions, so he's definitely got the credentials to give it a shake at the top end.
And here's Mitch Delfs, young man from Margaret River in Western Australia, Australian Junior Mountain Biker of the Year last year, 2007.
Yeah, one of a long list of WA young pinners, such as a name you may have heard, Sam Hill, who's only the two-time world champion downhiller. And Mitch Delfs really boosting off the jump there, and he'll fly over the rock jump.
Getting plenty of air as Ben Corey's the current leader at 2:41.47. And we're looking at Rick Boyer, rider number 10.
Yeah, Ricky, he designed this course, so he should do pretty well on it. So he should know every inch of this course. He designed it in conjunction with Glenn Jacobs. He did many, many hours of pushing rocks around. so he should know every single rock and probably has a pet name for every single rock on the course. But his boy is looking good. Pegs it over the middle section of the triple treat. Flies through the shot there. It's looking good. And there's Mitch Delphs, 2:44.66. It's a reasonable time, but it's not quite quick enough. But here comes Boyer. He's into the finish chute, pedaling like mad. And it's a 2:44.22. Again, good, but not good enough. Ben Corey still sitting on the hot seat.
Emile Cavalier, 20-year-old National Series leader from Wollongong. World Under-19 downhill champion of 2005. So he's got a rich pedigree, as has many of the Australian juniors.
Absolutely, and Emile also doing well in the US. He raced the what used to be called the Norva Circuit in the US. It's now called the National Mountain Bike Series. And he was number 2 overall behind Jared Rando, who you'll see very shortly. So he's had a pretty good year. He's showing some form. And up the top of the hill, there's his teammate in the giant colours, Jared Rando. Jared Rando came first in the National Mountain Bike Series of America. And he's looking really nice. You saw him with his helmet cam there, and some of the parts you didn't see included his secret lines, which we weren't allowed to show you. But he's got a few tricky lines on course, so he should show a really good time.
Third last year, Jared Rando.
Nice, keeps it low over the rock jump. And there's Emile Cavalier's time, 2:43.81. He's sitting in second place now. He'll be in the hot seat. But Rando, I reckon I've got a good feeling about this. He's going to do really well.
A 26-year-old, a lot of experience now, Jared Rando.
And he's pedaling really hard into the finish. Oh, Rando, 2:43.13. That's only good enough for a second place. Will he hold on to that after the next few riders come through?
Looking at Steve Smith, the Canadian champion of a couple of years back. He does a lot of riding at Whistler and some great runs there.
Yeah, he's from BC, lives in BC, so naturally he gets up to Whistler, as we'd all love to, because it is the mountain bike mecca. But he's won a few events at Crankworks, the Gabanzo Downhill, and he's also knows A-line like the back of his hand. But this is the only course he needs to know right now. He's on the Mount Stromlo downhill, and he's going super fast, looking very nice through the triple treat section. Oh, a big blast of dust through that berm. He's ripped that berm apart, and he's looking really smooth. Steve Smith coming into the finishing chute. Oh, he gets the front wheel up, and oh, it's into second place as well. So it's Steve Smith, 2:42.71. Will he hold on to it after we see the next few riders, including Nathan Rennie. Nathan Rennie of the Syndicate team. He's 2005 World Cup Series champion. He's got plenty of credentials. He's yet another of our Australian junior world champions.
2006 Australian senior champion as well.
Yep, he was slightly upset by one Jared Graves last year on this very course. He was looking good for a win, but Graves edged him out by the slightest of margins. But there's Rennie, called Stampy for good reason. Tons of power coming out of those legs. Still famous for recording one of the highest power outputs of any rider the AIS has ever seen. So, and seeing as a pedally course, it'll suit him down to a T.
Can he get under 2:40? I think he's going to smash that time. Oh, it's very quick, 2:37.95. There's the current leader and possibly the champion, Nathan Rennie.
That is a great time from Rennie. He's improved his qualifying run by a solid 5 seconds. But this man will be looking to knock him off, and he's going to have to try super hard. Bryn Atkinson, who used to be a teammate of Rennie's on the Iron Horse Mad Cats team. And they're also teammates of Sam Hill, back when Sam Hill was a young pinner. But Atkinson looking super fast. He qualified first, so he's the last rider out of the gate. And he's looking really good through the triple tree, very smooth. Oh, gets it squirrely on the landing of the rock jump. But hopefully they won't rob him of too much time. He's still looking really good, hitting up those berms super hard. And Atkinson doubles that little section there. Takes the sneaky line on the outside. Rando also took that line. Showed us there's Rennie looking a bit apprehensive in the finish straight. And it's Atkinson coming through. And the time, no, second place to Atkinson. It's a 2:40.11.
So it's national title number 2 for Nathan Rennie, a 26-year-old. And it was a flying time too, 2:37.95 ahead of Bryn Atkinson, with Ben Corey in 3rd place in the elite men's downhill.
Not quite 2 on the trot, but not far off. How was your day?
Yeah, had a great day in the end. Finished up with winning, so really happy. I mean, threw down a pretty decent run. Just one little mistake towards the finish. I was a bit cautious there, and end result's great. It's been a long day. It's all hot and pretty buggered. Definitely put in a lot of effort, so I'm happy.
There's only seconds in it though. You must be happy to still be within a second or so of Rennie.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm stoked, you know. That's how it goes.
Elite men's national champion for 2008, Nathan Rennie!
Well, that just about wraps up the 2008 Toyota National Mountain Bike Championships. The cream of these athletes head overseas now to take part in the World Cup in the Northern Hemisphere, and then in August the World Cup touches down in Australia for the first time since 1999. On behalf of the team, I'm Jim Trail, and we'll see you then.